Hello everyone from Trefin, southwest Wales, and basically the middle of nowhere really, but a lovely village. And today I'm going to be taking what is known as the Strumble Shuttle, which is a small bus which connects the local coastal communities, coming from Fishguard all the way down to St David's. It should be really handy because you basically just flag it down and it stops wherever you want, and then you just hop on and off we go. So why don't you join me for the ride and we'll see what it's like, and I will catch you on the bus. The bus shelter in Trefin is a very solid brick structure with a slate roof. It beats all these modern metal and glass ones, doesn't it? And inside is where you will find the timetable for the Strumble Shuttle. Now, according to the dates, it's summer only and is subject to change. Notice that they had a driver shortage when we were there, so despite stating that the bus runs from Monday to Saturday, it was only actually operating on a Thursday. I would advise ringing the operator for the latest, otherwise you could have a very long wait. The village of Trefin itself has a few accommodation options, including a hostel and an excellent camping and caravan site. Now, I'll pop a link to the latter in the description below. There's also a pub and a cafe right in the centre of the village. Okay, so here's our bus hurtling down the road, the 404 Strumble Shuttle. You can't miss it really. It's the one with the massive puffin on the side. You will also see just below the roof the route and major stops between Fishguard and St David. Make sure you let other people off before climbing on board, and you just pay the driver, who will take both cash and contactless payments. Adult single fare from here to our destination of St David's was £2.55. Child single was £1.70 at the time of this recording. Just behind the driver here, you should find printed copies of the timetable and also some other local information booklets. And as you can see, it was fairly busy today, mainly locals and walkers as you would expect, but I managed to get a seat about halfway back, just on the raised bit, which gives you better views, I think. Seating is, as you would expect, laid out in a 2-2 configuration. The seat itself is a kind of a moulded all-in-one design with basic padding. Legroom is a bit tight, but there is a grab handle built into the back of the seat, and an extra one here for those of us that are sitting in this particular row. So yeah, the seat's not going to win any awards for comfort, but that's not what this bus is about. It's not like we're going all the way up to Scotland, is it? We left Trefin roughly on time, and it was only going to take about half an hour or so to cover the 10 miles to St David's, mainly along the coast. So it's more a case of just hold on tight and enjoy the views really, because as soon as we leave the village, we catch our first glimpse of the sea and the first passenger gets off, and from then on we climb up again towards Llanryan. The bus, by the way, is an Optare Solo, run by a company called Richards Brothers, who are based in Cardigan, West Wales. Now, they run scheduled services as far north as Abereiddy and also connect with other towns in the area, including Carmarthen, Haverfordwest and Cardigan itself. Now, as well as the Strumble Shuttle, there are also a couple of other similar routes using similar buses, namely the Puffin Shuttle and the Pop-It Rocket. I'll pop a link to the company website and their timetables in the description below, and yeah, you can explore these at your leisure. Now, as you can see, it's really beneficial to be on the right hand side when travelling from Fishguard to St David, as these seats really do afford the best views of the coast. By the way, don't expect a toilet or Wi-Fi on this bus. I'm just saying that to cover it off in case somebody asks. We turn right past the farm traffic at Llanryan, down towards the village of Porthgain and its fascinating industrial heritage and associated buildings. There is also a fantastic restaurant and pub here, very popular with tourists in the summer months. The bus stops at the top of the village. I presume the road's a bit tight down by the harbour, and you do get a lot of cars parked on the lane in the summer. And that's the thing with this area, and for the most part between Trefin and St David, we're travelling along narrow single track country lanes. So any large vehicles are going to struggle a bit if and when you meet something coming the other way. The drivers though know the area really well and are masters of reversing. Like here on the way down to Abereiddy, where we met a lorry coming the other way. It just comes with the territory on this particular route, doesn't it? Abereiddy, by the way, is famous for its Blue Lagoon and cliff diving competitions. Another very popular spot. We stop again at a junction to drop some passengers off and pick a few more up. And if you look closely, you'll notice that this is a designated stop and the timetable for the Strumble Shuttle is attached to the footpath signpost. This bus incidentally will seat a maximum of 23 people, and there is room for 9 people standing or 1 wheelchair at the front behind the driver and 5 standees. A word I'd never heard before, but yeah, it means persons standing rather than seated, especially in a passenger vehicle apparently. Now maybe it's equivalent to the American term strap hanger, though there are no straps on this bus unfortunately. Pole grabber then maybe? Anyway, we're speeding along now, as you can see. Maybe this route should have been named the Strumble Sprinter. Ride quality is a bit bumpy, to be honest, but you will be reassured to know that if the bus was involved in a collision, there is an emergency exit via this large roof window here. And believe it or not, we're not actually the biggest bus on the road today. Now check out these Yonk here Euro coaches coming the other way. You wouldn't want to be meeting them down the lanes now, would you? Where are they coming from? Good luck to them. Good luck to them down here. As I said before, you can ask the driver to drop you off anywhere really, but they will very happily recommend places to alight if you tell them what you're planning to do. Now many people will want to get off and walk a section of the coastal path, for example, and then pick the bus up again from a different spot later on in the day. See, the bus driver actually acts as a bit of a guide and like a local font of local knowledge as well.
When they got on the bus, they just had a description of where they needed to go on. But she was like,
oh yeah. It's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were heading straight into St David's today, which is where we're coming to now. The bus will drop people off at various points, its final stop being adjacent to the tourist office on the outskirts of the city. Now, as with most buses, if you want to get off anywhere along the route, you can press one of these stop buttons located on the poles.
Here.
Come on. And note as we leave how clean the bus is as well, and I was very impressed with this. There's also a hand sanitizer by the driver and a contactless card reader just next to the exit door of the bus. Thank you very much.
Oh no.
And as the bus sprints off for a well-earned breather, I walked over to the tourist information office to sum up my thoughts on the trip. Right guys, St David's, and that was the Strumble Shuttle. I thought that was fantastic actually. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. It's a little coastal community bus, stops wherever you want it to. The driver knew everything about the route and advised the passengers where was the best place to get off. Absolutely fantastic, and great value for money too. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you can join me on another adventure soon. Hope you enjoyed this one, and until the next time guys, cheers for now.